Hi everyone. If you've seen the title of tonight's video, you'll know what's happened. Rocky passed away last week. What happened to him is he had an abscess in his cheek, and for a hamster, it's already too late once you're able to identify that it's an abscess. Their body's already started to go at to become toxic essentially, and the abscess grew to the size of a ping pong ball, and he passed away from it on October the 10th. The only really good news is that Rocky got through to his second birthday. That was October the 7th. I was really wanting him to have that. I've really missed feeding him. Sorry. I've really missed feeding him in my hand. The abscess caused a lot of confusion, and the last time I held him he was absolutely terrified of me, and I put him back because I didn't think it was worth putting him under stress. I did what I could for him during this time. What I was doing was waking him up to eat and leaving fruit for him or vegetables at the entrance of his sleeping hut, so that he'd at least not be feeling too bad during this. And then we got to Friday, the day after. He was absolutely terrified when I picked him up to pet him, and he stopped drinking. And if you don't drink, unfortunately, you don't last too long. We got Rocky buried. Sorry. Anyway, we got Rocky buried. My friend Joe came over here to dig the hole for him. I'm glad he's buried. If you've been watching my YouTube channel for a while, you'll know that I had another hamster before this. That other hamster was named Mike. It took me about 6 weeks to get through the grieving from the hamster dying. I'm not ready to get another one yet. I do know what I plan to do though. I thought I'd share it in this video. I do want to get another hamster. With the way that my legs are, it's not practical for me to be bending over and taking care of a litter box of a cat, or or taking a dog out for walks. I'm just not going to be able to do it consistently. It's worked well for me having a hamster. So what I'm aiming to do is buy 3 of these cages and make a 6-story home for a future hamster, and then put little pathways for the hamster to run between each level in the little tunnels that you hook up. When I want to do this is in the spring of 2024. And I realize I've just told you it was 6 weeks, of grieving that helped me get through when Mike died. I'm wanting to finish the cleaning and organizing of my home this winter, or burst. I've made gains in sort of bits and pieces, but I haven't finished it off yet. I really want to finish that part off first before I get another hamster. Because then what's going to happen is a set of shelves is going to be designated for the hamster with the 3 cages that I plan to buy. So since I've got the camera rolling, just give me 1 second here. Okay, since I got the camera rolling, I'm going to open up this and tell you what I've got going on here. With my physical disability, I took a course in 2018. It was a 6-week course. And one of the recommendations from that was to have a pet, and I certainly see why. I loved when Rocky was there in the middle of the night and I was able to hold him when my legs were hurting. And I went to the pet store, and essentially I said to the pet store that there's issues with my legs, and I'm not going to be able to take care of a cat or dog the same. And the pet store's response to me is, well, that's no problem. You can use a 4-inch base for the hamster. Now, if you were paying attention, you would have realized that Rocky was living in a fish tank. It's one of my larger fish tanks. I'm wanting to reseal the edges because he chewed up the silicone, but that's not a big deal. I know how to do it. But I was told that 4 inches of shavings is what I needed, and then it would mean only changing the shavings once a month. So there we go. So I chose the fish tank, and then what I was planning on doing with Rocky was buying a guinea pig cage and then welding on a second set of bars. So a hamster can escape between the bars of a guinea pig cage. And I already know how to arc weld, or another way of calling it is stick welding if it's changed culturally. But what's in here is the tool that I need to do this with. Let me just get this out of here, then you can at least see bottom, okay, and top. Okay, I'm gonna need to, I've bought this used. There's not a lot of people that spot weld, but this is how hamster cages are made. Let me just set those down here. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Boy, this thing weighs a lot. I already knew that from the technical description, but boy, this weighs a lot. Okay. Oh, this is fascinating. That's really interesting. Huh. Anyway, okay. This is the base of a spot welder. It's where the transformer is. So there's a very quick technical lesson. You may not be interested in this, but I like this stuff. In a microwave oven, there's a transformer, but it takes the power from the wall outlet and then it boosts it to about 2,000 volts. And that's what's needed for a microwave to work, to make the radio waves that heat up food and excite water in the food that you're warming up. With a spot welder, it's the opposite. It's very low voltage and high amps that make it work. So, essentially these two go into it, and then when you click them down like that, it's resistive heating. It's the same idea if you've seen a burner on your stove, an electric stove, the kind that's a coiled, not inductive heating, but an electric stove. How it goes red. The current passes through these two, and then the piece of metal that's where my finger is, like this, it melts and the surface fuses as it cools back down. So I happen to have spotted this spot welder for sale, used in Canada. Someone bought it for a specific project and didn't need it anymore, and I grabbed at it, and I own it. There's a special plug. Oh, it's not even on here right now. That's fine. There's a special plug that I have to connect to this. I know how to do it, and I'm not taken back or surprised or feel unconfident about seeing these 3 wires. There's a special plug on my home that is for a 240 volt welder. It's similar to a dryer plug style, like an electric dryer or an electric stove, within reason though. So my plan is to focus on cleaning this, finish the cleaning and organizing of my home, make it nice and enjoyable in here, and then in the spring I'm going to add the second bars to the guinea pig cages, and then I'm going to need to get a few more CCTV cameras, and what I'm thinking is some motion sensors, and have them figure out which camera is working at that moment where the hamster is, and then have it switch the cameras at that point. We'll see how it goes. There's enough friends that I have that are, in common terms, computer geeks, that I'm sure me and them can sit there and figure out what it is and the ins and outs of this. It's a bit bittersweet with Rocky dying. I don't miss him near as much as when he first died, but I did love the guy, and I really enjoyed caring for him. You know, it didn't bother me that he had, you know, the abscess on his ear that I needed to take care of. I will tell you though, I've never felt so helpless as when he got that abscess on his cheek. It's just not good news for a hamster. So I'm going to use the Patreon money to pay for the cages and the cameras, and it'll probably be the next 8 months worth. I genuinely enjoyed sharing Rocky. I enjoyed caring for him myself, but it wasn't just that. What made it great was sharing the special moments, watching him eating out of my hand, or watching him run. I also really enjoyed the engineering part of it, watching him making his tunnels and his nest, renovating his sleeping hut just how he wanted it, and sort of the carport area that I had set up for him. So it's going to be a while before I have another pet, but that's my intentions. And when I'm ready, I'll let you know. Or when I start working on this, I'll film myself doing all the spot welding. In fact, I may make it into a live stream. The fact is that what I'm talking about will be 3 or 4 days worth of spot welding, like in the order of 20 hours or so. It's a big commitment to do this. But on the other hand, I enjoy these types of things, and I always enjoy seeing what I've created. It's been a real roller coaster this past week. It's why I haven't posted. I've been thinking about Rocky and my life and what I want and what I need. I just got told earlier in October that I'm needing another operation on my knee this time. And we're hoping I can get a surgeon on board with doing so. I think this is all that I have to share in this particular video. I did want to say thank you for the support from when Rocky got the abscess on his ear in winter, this past winter, and for those that were kind to me during that time. I've really enjoyed taking care of him. And when I'm ready, I'll get another little buddy in here with me and see what that hamster's like. It amazes me. Between Mike and Rocky, they both have and had their very own distinct personalities. The catch on this is that you have to get to know them on their terms. And there's a lot more to hamsters than I could have identified with when I was a child. Anyway, I've got a plan to move forward with, but I didn't want to rush when missing Rocky. It did take a lot of energy out of me, and for a while I was going to bed much later so I could be up with him. And it's amazing because Rocky was getting up at 8:30 in the evening, about 3 hours before is typical for a hamster, and that only happens when hamsters become very bonded to you. It worked out well, and I'm looking forward to doing it to another little hamster sometime. Okay, I'm gonna post a nature video next. Unfortunately, maybe not unfortunately, but that's what I'm needing right now. I've always made my YouTube channel an extension of my life. And I've always tried to be honest with what's been going on, and as unpleasant as this is, it's worth sharing. Okay, but sincerely thank you for the time that you spent supporting me while I was taking care of my little buddy. Okay, this is all I've got for today. Take care. Bye for now.